Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I want to give y'all an update on the current crypto market and Bitcoin. So let's jump right into the video. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you can be updated with these market cipher videos. So as you can see right off the bat here on the 2-hour, we are starting to see the Heikin-Ashi candles turn green, which is a good sign for an uptrend. So obviously I did jump out of the market, but right now this is kind of looking like an upswing that could be potentially happening. But these are the things that you want to look for before you start to trade too. So I got caught in a really nasty trade. I'm still a newbie, but yeah, I got caught in a really nasty trade. Kind of got my crap handed directly on a platter to me, and it was not pretty. So, but I also needed to pay some bills and buy some Christmas presents. So I needed to put my money back into fiat. But I'm almost tempted for a low leverage long here. You can see that our our longs are being paid out by our shorts here. And we do have our 2-hour that's clipping above our pivot point here on cipher B. Cipher A is already on here. We don't have any green diamonds being put in just yet, but that could change. Let's go to our 4-hour here. Sorry for the computer being wacko right now. I'll just take the power cable out. It's been messing up on me here. But hey, we're doing our best over here. We're trying to make it. So, hang in there. Hang in there with me, and we'll see the upside eventually, right? So, as you can see here, we've been on a major downtrend. Our 4-hour hasn't put in green Heikin-Ashi candles just yet, but we are seeing that I'm really going to start paying attention to this payout funding metric down here. If I do decide to get in on some trades again, I think this was where a lot of us probably got screwed over. And it does look like a lot of people got but they got screwed over hard in this downwards trend. 70% to the downside, pretty much. Well, I don't even think it was 70%, but it was more or less like from that 14K. I think it was probably like 50%, 60% to the downside. But I think there's still some bears out there, so I don't want to get too hasty just yet, but that's why I am going over market cipher with y'all and the current markets right now. So let's take a look at our 6-hour. I think CryptoFace was starting to come out of his short just a little bit, but I think that overall we are still kind of in a downwards trend, so we should just be careful on anything that we decide to do. If anything, I feel like a scalp to the long side might be relevant right now, but I still kind of holding my ground. So if we can see here, let's go to our buy sell signals real quick. Our whale buy sell indicator. 6-hour has a buy signal being put in, so let's take a look back at our 2-hour to see if there's any sell. Nope, all buys right now. So okay, longs are being paid out right now as well. We can see down here still on our 8-hour. Let's go to our, one of the main ones I've really been waiting for was a buy signal on our 12-hour. We still haven't had a buy signal on our 12-hour, but our last buy signal on our 12-hour was when we had that huge move to the upside, and that percentage was probably boom to boom, about 8% to the upside, and then we finally had a buy signal on the 12-hour. What I really want, what I'm curious about right now, our 2-hour is clipping above the 0 point on cipher B, and I think that once these blue waves end up coming above the 0 pivot point, that we start to see some major rally happening, but it does have to stay above there for a while. As you can see here, it didn't really stay up above there for too long, so we could see some movement, but it might not be exactly what we were hoping for. I did see that some tether got printed. Let me see if I can find that really quick. And I'm not too sure So 6 hours ago, USDC printed, or they minted a $1 million. Okay, 30 million minted at Tether Treasury 7 hours ago. And that's like the first time that we've heard from Tether in a long time. This is on whale alerts. I'm just looking on my phone right now. I pull it up for y'all here, but I just don't feel like logging in right now to Twitter. So let's go back to our 12-hour. Our longs are starting to get paid out a little bit here by shorts. So let's go to our daily. Let's take a look at our. So we still haven't put in a major green dot just yet, but we can see some movement to the down to our shorts. I mean our longs getting paid out, but I would want to see like a bunch of movement like this over here of longs being paid out. So I'm still tempted to just kind of hold off and just see what's happening with the markets right now and not get too hasty on this. So if we let's go back to our 6 hour. I'm just kind of curious to see what happened last time our longs were getting paid out was when we had that backed launch, and we dropped off a lot. So but then once we consolidated out a little bit, our longs were really getting paid out. So I think you just have to wait for a really good entry point maybe to put in a low leverage long. So when we had that drop down to 7,200, then we saw that spike and our longs getting paid out as well. So I'm almost tempted to say that because everyone's just now going long, we could see one more big move to the downside, and that within that move, it could be another 20% move to the downside. And when that occurs, that'll give us a better entry point for a long position. So I'm almost tempted to wait to see if we do drop back down to 6,800. If we drop back down to 6,800, I almost feel like that or 68 or 65. 65 is still on the table for me. And so I'm going to consider that because we could wick down below here on our support line to maybe like a 6,500 point. And if we wick down to like a 6,500 point, that'll give us a good entry. So maybe setting your limit orders, to 6,800 or 6,500 right now, but not financial advice, just kind of throwing it out there of something that I might do. So let's take a look at our 1 day. Dude, and like we thought 7,200 was a bottom, and I was almost tempted to. I had put in a long at 7,200. Me and my girlfriend put in a long at 7,200, and we literally like came home that next day or that night on Friday, and we're like in shock because we were like up $1,000 pretty much. It was crazy, but we stuck it out, and we thought literally like I was almost thinking, well, if I just let the 7,200 ride out and like that was the actual bottom, then I'll just let it ride. So right now, literally, if you were to put in, if we say 6,800 was our bottom, or if we go to 6,500 and we put in a low leverage long, like, and you ride that puppy out to like 20K again, that's potential gains that are being made up. So yeah, people took a big hit, but everyone thought 7,200 was our bottom, and so I think that we could come back down and retest 6,800 again, and that might be a fairly good entry point. Once this 1 day green dot hits, then I'll start to look at these higher time frames. And one of the things that I told myself before was that I was going to wait for a green dot, a big green dot on our 6 day time frame, right? And we never got that big green dot that I was looking for. So but if we go to our 6 day, we can see that there's a lot of sell-off pressure right now. So that 7,200 was not bottom, and that 7,200 was where we did get in, and I stuck it out with my girlfriend because I was like, hey, we're going to wait till this 6-day green dot. But we went ahead and put in a long before that, and we just rode it out. We rode the 20% to the downside, and we still made out, fairly high to the upside. But then we got kind of hasty, and we put in longs, and we were like, okay, well, that 7,200 had to have been the bottom. Well, it wasn't. Okay, boom. All right, so now what we really want to see is a big green dot on our 6-day here. As you can see in our last bear market, which I don't consider, I consider that we're in a bear market. I say this is a bear market. So what I want is to see big green dot on our 6-day. Our 6-day big green dot is going to be big confirmation for me to put in a low leverage long and then just ride that puppy up to the upside to new all-time highs. So as you can see here, our 6-day big green dot, last time it hit was at literally our candlestick of like that 3,600, 3,500 area. And then we never saw those movements again. So and then that was that one. Let's go to our weekly, because then what did I tell you? What did I say? The 3-week was the other one I wanted to look at, right? And the 3-week was the other indicator that was going to tell me we were bottoming out. Guys, as bullish as I want to be for Bitcoin and crypto, I'm looking at these higher time frames, and if we are in a potentially bear market, now that I believe we are actually in, I think that there's still move to the downside. Because as you can see here, on even our weekly, we're going to put in a green dot that's below our other green dot. And that's exactly what we did back here when people were like getting euphoria that when we were dropping, but we were still making like 10% moves to the upside. Oh, we're still in we're still in the bull market. Da, 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 da. Okay, well, we come down to 6K, and then we're like, oh, we're never gonna go below 6K. Da, da, da. Boom, 3,500. Okay, so, and I think what CryptoFace is probably waiting for too is probably some of these big green dots to be put in to know that like it's not a game to short anymore. And so as you can see here, even on our weekly, our shorts are still being paid out on our weekly right now. So what we need to see is something like this. We need to see something like people are going short, and we need to see the funding metric really move to the downside before we potentially have hit bottom. And I've been following a lot of people out there, and it's really easy to get caught up in everyone's, indicator, or not everyone's signals. I'm in some trading signal groups, and or I just follow a lot of people that give free signals and stuff. And honestly, like, you really just have to do the study by yourself and stick to that game plan. And what was our game plan? Our game plan was to stick to that 6-day big green dot, and we didn't stick with it, and got our crap handed to us on a platter. So and now that I'm doing YouTube videos, I want YouTube to hold me accountable, and for everyone else to see that we're gonna wait for the 6-day big green dot to hit to know that is a bottom of a bear market. And I don't count this out that we are in a bear market right now. Obviously, having 6 months away, but our indicators and metrics right now are telling us that there's still plenty of room to the downside, and 5K could be in order even within these higher time frames if we really want to put in that big green dot, and to know that like that is actual bottom of a bear market. When I was making previous videos, and when I was commenting on people's videos saying, hey, like, I think we reached the bottom, that's what my indicator's saying, I was saying that because I still thought we were in a bull market. Right now, I don't think we're in a bull market anymore. We're definitely more towards a bear market, and I think the bears have full control right now, and if we see, I would say if we see another big green dot on our 2-day or 3-day, then that's another indication to know that we have not finished this bear market just yet. So, but that could be a while. My guess right now is to say that we have not completely gotten out of this bear market yet. And then our 1-day here. So I definitely feel like we're going to come back down and put in another big green dot. But we've done that same thing over here. You know, on our 1-day, we've come down and put in some green dots and continue back to the upside. And that's by all means possible, you know. But I think that that's why CryptoFace is also still looking to short, because he's looking at these higher time frames and he's seeing the potential to the downside still. And it might honestly be the higher that we go up on these time frames, like our 5-day and 6-day, that longs are still paying shorts out, you know. And once that flips, then I'll feel more comfortable. But we really want to wait till some of these higher time frames really line up with us just right. So once these start to flip, then maybe I'll be a little bit more bullish. But I mean, after this debacle, y'all, and to not see a quick bounce, to not see a big bounce to the upside, really has me thinking that the Bears are going to be in control for a little while longer. So I'm going to keep y'all updated on these big green dots here and wait for some of those to hit. But we can see that on some of our higher time frames, honestly, I feel like this 1-day could come back up and then clip back down. I don't think that we'll go all the way back up because we are still in red money flow. I think that we could put in a big green dot, and then we could come up and then get shot down with another blood diamond or another yellow X, and we could get shot back down. So that's my, you know, that's what I'm going by. And then our 2-day, we could get another, you know, big green dot as well, but then get shot back down. So what I'm thinking is to wait. I can see why people want to short right now, but I'm not a person to short this market. If I'm gonna get in, I'm gonna get in at a low, and I'm just gonna let it ride. And I know there's money to be made both ways, but I'm tempted to just wait this out, accumulate, just fiat right now, and then wait for potential conclusive bottom on these 5-day and 6-day. I'm really going to be looking at the 5-day and 6-day, and then once those green dots start to hit, the big green dots, I want to see big green dots to know that like we have gotten, this is the bottom of this blow off top bear market, because this was ultimately another bear market that we ran through these past in 2018. But then we had the euphoria phrase, and then I want to see something like this blow off top end its cycle, and then come back down, put in a large green dot. So let's just take a look at our 2-week as well. Yeah, and like I think if we come back down here on our 2-week, once we pass this pivot point, I mean that's another zone that we just need to be careful of too. So not quite out of the woodworks yet, y'all. Although I do have hope, you know. I'll keep doing videos and giving y'all updates on these, but right now I'm out of my position, and if we don't see a big move of like 40% to the upside, then I'm feeling like we'll probably just consolidate, continue down, consolidate, you know, continue down. So, but I don't know. That's just one person on YouTube. Don't take this for granted. But like I said, I want to see at least the 1-day big green dot get hit first, see what it decides to do. We might have some big moves back up to maybe 8K. And then if anything, I would want to see something like we go above 10K. And if we can go above 10K, then have a feeling we could go to 20K pretty easily. So, but I want to see some big green dots being hit on these higher time frames. I want to see all big green dots pretty much being hit, and then that'll be more confirmation for me. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the video. Hope y'all are enjoying these. If y'all want to support the channel, y'all, I have the links in the description below that y'all can help support the channel. Some entrepreneurial type of courses that y'all can take as well. If y'all are interested in learning more about trading, becoming a better investor, this and that. So all the links down there. Support the channel, y'all. I'll get back to y'all later on. Like, comment, tell me where y'all think the market's headed to, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll speak to y'all soon.